Hello and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles. Why do I keep saying Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles? I don't know. Vampire the Masquerade Chapters. Tonight we are doing Chapter 5, Every Rose Has Its Thorns. Last time we went to the apartment of Etienne Saint-Denis, the Sabat Ghoul we met a few episodes back. And we found out that he was making silver ammunition and silver weapons to help the Sabat fight a werewolf, which is apparently in the sewers. After informing the sheriff of this, he advised us to meet with a contact of his. So that's what we're doing. We did purchase Necromancy 2 with our accumulated experience last time, which will allow us to summon rakes in combat. Today we have the old boots, the special umbrella, and the brass knuckles as our items again, as well as the lock-picking set that we don't know what to do with yet. We're supposed to give it a guy for 5 boons. I will note one thing real quick before we get started. This token right here is action token number 3. I know it can be hard to see because of the glare on there right now. Apologies for that. From the errata on FLYOS's website for Vampire Chapters, that is supposed to be put on the table or on the tile right from the beginning, but it is not shown in the storybook for it. So that will need to be in there. So if you play this and you saw this first and you didn't see the website, there you go. That's supposed to be there. Every rose has its thorns. The bustle of the airport terminal greets you as you step out of the cab. The sun is set less than an hour ago and a cool autumn breeze blows gently from the north. You watch as kind come and go, frantically searching for relatives to pick them up or rushing to get in on time for their flights. The honking from the cab draws you out of your reverie. "Hey, meter's running," says the cab driver, tapping on the tablet he's installed in the car. Turn around to look at him. "We know," you explain. "Will just be a moment." Caleb gave you a description of his acquaintance, so you know who to look for. After about a half hour, Mr. Damp comes out of the airport. As you approach to greet him, he immediately speaks up. "There are thorns inside. My rose would rather be thornless. You want my rose, you get rid of the thorns. A pair at least. Cunning and ruthless these thorns are. Could you be any more vague?" Damp simply smiles and motions for you to enter the airport. "His thorns are like thorns in your sides. He probably has a problem. If it's a pair of ruthless thorns, then maybe he's being pursued." You recall Caleb telling you that in Seattle, the boss Damp works for is a known target of the mob. But how to get rid of them without resorting to violence? Getting them kicked out of the country would require something to plant on them or their luggage. You call up Alex. If anyone has something illegal at the ready, it'd be him. He's the one to come up with a plan, plant a generous quantity of drugs in the luggage of Damp's enemies. Objective: find the luggage of Mr. Damp's enemies and plant the drugs without raising suspicion. Read Event 1. Arrivals. Alex arrives at the airport after about an hour. You meet with him in the lobby. He nervously looks around the room. His hands are in his pockets, fidgeting with the bag of dope. He could not look any more suspicious if he tried. "Let's get this done quickly, guys. I've heard the Inquisition has eyes all over this place." You're not sure if Alex is lying, but you get it. You should not be here, and the risk of getting caught only increases the longer you remain. You grab the bag of dope from Alex and watch him leave in haste. You sneakily make your way past the lone security agent overseeing the exit to the baggage claims and make your way inside. You should find the luggage of Damp's pursuers quickly. Take the bag of dope item card. If the Masquerade Breach tracker is at 2+, you must read Event 2. Otherwise, read Event 3. We have not had a Masquerade Breach yet, so no worries there. Bag of dope is item number 39. There it is. Event 3. The Hub. You spot many surveillance cameras in the room. If you want your plan to succeed, you must erase CCTV footage. You figure this nearby security booth has to have access to these cameras. Set the round tracker to 10 and decrease it at the end of every round. So, take this And we put it at 10. First time we've used the round tracker. Move the security guard when the round tracker reaches 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2 according to this image. If you are in the security guard NPC's line of sight without a stealth token, you must read E4. Resume playing. Okay, so we need to figure out who is our target and then deal with the security footage. So we got 3 people to talk with. So let's go ahead. He said a pair of thorns. My guess is it's the traveling couple. This one is the traveling family, and that's the businessman, and that's security guard. So we are going to try and just go through here. So the family is right next to us, so we will... Let me real quick look again at his movements. So 10, he starts off there, 8 moves over there, 6 into the hall, 4 by the conveyor. Okay, so he starts here. At turn 8, he'll move here. Turn 6, he'll be here. 4, he'll be here. 2, he'll be here. So theoretically, 1, 2, 3, figure out which of the 3 it is, and then that should give us an idea for the items. So technically, if we're right, 4 turns to get the item planted, and then he should be out here, and then we just gotta sneak past him, do that, and then get out. Okay. Okay, so we're going to try and cut down on the amount we'll need to move at a time. So we're going to move 1, 2, so we're here. And that is the family, page 5. Family on vacation. You approach family of 4. Their kids are dozing off, hanging on their mother's arms. Parents sigh heavily at the sight of each new suitcase making on the carousel. Both adults look nervously around at the people present and the arrivals. Damp did say his thorns were ruthless. They could be using the children as a way to blend in. You should approach this with caution. Approach them politely. Make a social plus subterfuge check, difficulty 2. Hover nearby and eavesdrop on them. Make a physical plus stealth check, difficulty 2, or leave them be. Resume playing. So we're going to move the bag of dope over here. Stealth, we have 2 successes by default. Subterfuge, we have 1 by default. Let's try and eavesdrop. Okay, well, we didn't get any extra successes, but it was difficulty 2, so we still succeed. So read D4. Keeping an ear out. You do your best to blend in with the few arriving passengers, pretending to look for your luggage, text on your phone, or simply look confused. You wait a few minutes until they start talking to each other. Decrease the round tracker by 1. Ooh. You focused on their conversation. Make a mental plus awareness check. Difficulty 2. So, again, we've got 2 successes automatically. Then we get 1 more. So, read D8. This was supposed to be fun. The parents grumbled to each other about how the hotel was a letdown. The guides were speaking too fast. Food wasn't all that great. Typical disappointed vacationers. You're about to leave them be when you hear the wife say, I don't get what everyone says. Honestly, Hawaii sucked. Fort Lauderdale last year was a lot better. Hawaii, good to know. Remove the family NPC from the tile and take clue token 1. So we've got clue token 1, which I'm going to put there. Move them from the tile. but the end of that counts as the end of a turn, I believe. So that's going to put us at 8. Actually, wait, hang on. I'm going to, real quick. So it doesn't move the tracker yet, finishing the dialogue, but you can't split your movement. So aside from activating a power, which none of it's really going to help us right now, we've got nothing else we can do. So we would move it down to 8. He is going to move here. And I'm going to make sure I've got him facing the right way. Yes, I do. I'm going to keep this page marked. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's not going to move the round tracker yet, but it tells us to on this when we talk to the travelers, that'll happen. So, Dialogue 1, Travelers. A man and woman enter the baggage claims about the same time as you, though they came through the appropriate way. They both look to be in their mid-30s, with the woman looking a tad younger than her male partner. Both of them are dressed for colder temperatures, and they each have a small backpack. They keep to themselves, typing away on their phones. Approach them politely, make a social plus persuasion check, difficulty 5. Yeah, we ain't got that. Hover nearby and eavesdrop on them or leave them be. I'm pretty sure hovering nearby is going to cost us another round, but we're going to go ahead and do that. So hover nearby and eavesdrop on them. Read D2. I spy. They keep an eye around them at all times. They follow you from the corner of their eyes, shows they are wary of everyone. You notice their exchanges are done almost solely through their phones. Without supernatural means, it might be impossible to spy on them. If you have Dominate or Dementation level, or Dominate Dementation level 1, you can overload their minds and ruin their focus. You have Presence level 1, you can convince them to identify their luggage. You have Auspex level 1, which we do. You can try to read their phone screen from afar. Otherwise, you'll have to approach them with a social plus persuasion check, difficulty 4. Well, we have Auspex, so we can read them from afar. Go to D5, which will probably have me make a rouse check, I'll bet. Yep, make a rouse check. So we do not get hungrier. We have gotten really lucky with hunger checks. I think when we start summoning wraiths for combat, that's going to start changing. But you crane your neck to get a better look at their phone screen. You catch a glimpse of their exchange as the man turns his phone towards the woman. He mentions waiting for their luggage. One of them hopes nobody messed with it. The other responds they'll be fine, the case is locked, and that everything they brought is legal. Makes no mention of what exactly they're bringing, but it sure sounds suspicious. The traveler NPC can no longer be interacted with. Resume playing. Okay. So they're still on the tile, but they can't be interacted with. Okay. So that's the end of that round. Puts us at 7. 1, 2. Just to make sure if it's this guy. So the businessman, page 31. The businessman, middle-aged man in a wrinkled suit, looks at his watch every few minutes before looking back at the carousel. By his feet is a brown leather briefcase. Aside from the state of his clothes, you could think he was headed straight into an investor meeting. Damp said he had a pair of thorns, and this person is alone. Could be he's waiting for his partner, traveling as business people as a good cover. You gaze across his and you can see him furrow his brow. It would be awkward not to approach him at this point. Introduce yourself. Make a social plus persuasion check, difficulty 3. Or, if you are Samuel Armstrong or Harold Beaulieu, read D3. Well, we are not or we can resume playing. Well, we are going to, because we only have one success on persuasion. Bully is for intimidation. We are going to rouse the blood again to give us an extra social die. Okay, so we get hungrier, but we'll have 3 dice to work with. So let's put the marker on 1. And we've got 1 success. We need 2 of them for this. And I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll this other one, which was also 0. I could do it again, but I'm not going to. Failure, read D4. Bad start. Evening, you look like someone's been waiting here a while. Do you know how long the delay is for the luggages? We were told it was delayed, but not by how long. He looks at you like you've just told him the moon landing was fake. I don't know. Why don't you ask someone who works here? You prefer not to push things further. He can no longer be interacted with. Resume playing. Well. I'm pretty sure we're looking for the traveler's things. So that's going to bring us... Hang on a second. I can only do one of these, correct? Yep, perform a action. This is not easy to do when you're on your own. So it is 6. He is now here, I believe, was the one. 6. No, he is here. Doesn't see what happens when the round tracker reaches 0, though. Okay. So, do any of these mention Hawaii on the artwork? That'd probably make it too easy. Well, we're right next to number 2. So, the red suitcase, page 45. Lone red suitcase attracts your eye. By the looks of it, seems heavy. With a glance, you notice it's locked with a combination lock. You approach the carousel and grab the suitcase before plopping it on the ground. Now to open it. If you have clue token number 2, you must read IN1. If you are in any NPC's line of sight without stealth token, you must read IN2. Well, yeah, because he doesn't move off the board, so we are definitely in his line of sight. That might have been a fuck up on our part. IN2. You can feel the eyes of the kind upon you. If you want to open the suitcase, you're going to have to be very discreet. Make a physical plus stealth check, difficulty 2. Success, read IN6. Failure, read event E16. Or you can leave it alone. Okay, so... All right, we got 3 successes. IN6. Coast is clear. You cast one last look over your shoulder before going to work. You inspect the lock for clues on its combination. Make a mental plus awareness check. 0 to 2 successes, read IN4. 3 plus successes, read IN3. So we got 3 dice. We've got 2 successes out of the gate. And hot damn, we got 6 successes. Read IN3. Okay, IN3, red suitcase. You flip through the numbers one by one, making sure you only settle on those that are somewhat faded from use. Each click becomes more and more satisfying. Once all 3 numbers have been set, you close your eyes and attempt to open the suitcase. And it opens. Inside you find, hidden under a layer of clothes, a rifle case. It's locked. Judging by its size, it likely contains 2 disassembled rifles. Now to hide the dope with their belongings before anyone notices. Read event E5. The right suitcase. You have found Damp's enemy's luggage. Time to dump the dope in the suitcase. If you have the bag of dope item card, you dump it in the luggage. Otherwise, you can come back later to plant the drugs. So, we plant the drugs. Read event 12. Success. Action token 3 is on the tile, which it's, as we covered at the beginning, is supposed to be from the beginning. There are CCTV cameras everywhere. You must erase the footage for your plan to succeed. You must resume playing. Okay, so we have to go deal with that before we finish reading E12. So, okay. That puts us at 5. Wait, do I remove action 2? Yes. Remove investigation area 2 from the tile. Okay, replace it with, okay, so take event 2 off, or investigation off, replace it with action 2. So we found it, we know that's the right one, we just have to come back around to it after we deal with that. So that takes us, that's going to take us down to 5. So we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because his line of sight goes 2 in front of him, so we're out of his line of sight. It's going to end. You know what? I am going to make another blood surge to get 1 extra movement. We get hungrier. And I accidentally knocked off those tokens earlier. That was my bad. I do get hungrier. We're at hunger 2. We will now have to use 2 hunger dice, but for 1 turn, it's going to give us 1 more movement. So we're just going to move right there. We're still outside of his range, so that takes us down to 4. He moves all the way down to right here, looks like. No, 1 more. He moves there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Event 3, or not event 3, action 3, which is on page 78. Cameras. The airport uses CCTV cameras, making it impossible for someone to alter the feed remotely. You suspect the guard will come back shortly. System is an older one, but not unknown to you. With a bit of patience and a bit of luck, you should be able to remove your presence from the feed. Make a mental plus technology check, difficulty 2. So we've got 1 automatic success. We're going to have 2 hunger die here. And we got 4 successes. Read E15. We were never here. A few quick cuts here, reinsertion of previous footage there, and voila. It's not perfect, but at first glance seems like you were never there. As long as you do nothing to alert the authorities while here, no one will have reason to comb through the footage in detail. Satisfied, you slink away from the CCTV station and set your mind on your other goals. Remove action 3. Resume playing. So Takes us down to 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes us down to 2. We're going to make this with just enough time. So at 2, he goes to right here where my dice are at. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we activate action 2. You withdraw the dope from your pockets and dump the bags in the couple's luggage. You make your way out of the baggage claims and flag a security agent. You let them know about the couple and how they tried to sell you drugs, a lot of drugs, and baggage claims. You hang around until you see the police escort a young man and a young woman in handcuffs. Time to report to Damp. Into Chapter 5. Read the conclusion on the back of the narration page. You make your way out of the arrivals and back out the terminal. The taxi cab is still parked where you left it, though its driver is not in his seat anymore. Instead, you see Mr. Damp sitting behind the wheel. He's dressed in a coat and scarf which hangs limply around his neck. He sees you approach and waves a gloved hand greeting. I feel so much better without Thorns. You are efficient gardeners, and I believe you have a stray running around your island. Point me where to go. You put in the coordinates of the secluded sewer entrance you know of. The lights of Montreal go by as Mr. Damp drives away from the airport and to your destination. Your driver remains silent throughout the trip. He drives past downtown towards the Jacques Cartier Bridge and the sewer entrance. As he turns the engine off, he turns to you and says, "By the way, gardeners, you might need new tools. I left you one in the trunk." You pop open the trunk and notice it's currently occupied by an unconscious cab driver. You carefully move him aside and take the machete Damp threw him on. At least you think that's what Damp was referring to. Reward: gain 5 XP, 3 boons, and take the machete item card. Woo! Okay. You may now play Chapter 6, Enter the Werewolf. So I was wrong. Chapter 3 is not the one that we actually fight the werewolf in, it looks like. Okay, well, let me mark down this. We've got 29, which means we've got 9 more XP. And we get 3 boons and the machete item card. All right, machete. Item card number 18. +1 bleed token when used to attack if you deal 3+ damage. And real quick, let's just go ahead and toss the drugs back. Okay. We did lose our bully card because we didn't use it. Our hunger is at 2, so we will actually get to do a feeding event before we start the next chapter. So that'll be fun. Something new. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you are still enjoying it. I'm going to look and see if we can go back and do Chapter 3 before we go after the werewolf, or because I thought we were going to be going back to Chapter 3 to do the werewolf. But if we can't, then we're just going to go straight into Chapter 6. But we'll find out next time. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you then. Bye.